Check out this streetwear brand called Clout. They have all the latest fashion, from jeans, hoodies, tees, even shoes. Go check out their website. That's kclot.com and use my promo code BrandanJordanComedy to receive your discount. Go check them out right now. What up, dope? Welcome to a new episode of Don't Blame Me, Blame Detroit. It's your boy Brandon Jordan, and we here with a new episode. And I'm so excited to have this person on because this is somebody I listen to every day while I'm in my car. And I'm super excited to speak to this person today. You already know this woman is the moderator of Comedy Hype. She is the producer of the Black Friday Report from South Carolina, a track star.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
And awesome, man. I just love her spirit and everything, man. So I just want to welcome to the podcast, man, Symphony Thompson. How you doing this morning?
I'm great. How are you doing? That was awesome, by the way. You definitely got to mention, I used to be a track star, but it's still in me.
You think you can still go out there?
I can hold a run or two about 50 meters.
Either you can hold her to Shikari?
Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna play myself like that. No, absolutely not. I will let sometimes you just gotta pass the baton to the next person. Sis, what Shikari is doing and what she will do, I'm looking forward to it. So.
And let me ask you this. And since you have been in that field already of being in track, before the whole controversy of the smoking weed stuff, right? How it seemed like she was on fire. What do you think happened with her after, when she was able to get back on track and field, where it was kind of like a slow start for her to get back into the winner's circle?
Absolutely. So when it comes with running, there is no place that you run your best other than in a competitive race, right? So during that time, she wasn't, from what I understand, I think she was doing stuff in practice, but it still wasn't that real thing when your adrenaline is going and you're getting those reps in. So to me, in my brain, the way that I calculated, because I wasn't one of those people that was kind of like, oh, she was talking all that big stuff and didn't perform. To me, as a track star, I was like, you know what? I understand, because she took a break from competing in those high level races. So of course, if you're only doing something in practice and and of course your body is still being conditioned, but then you go to this huge race and you haven't had any big races in between that break time. Of course, your body is not going to peak or hit where it normally would have if you were doing those bigger races along the way. So to me, it's I know it's in her. I'm super excited. I know Justin Gatlin backs her pretty big, and talks about seeing her, at practice, it's a dog in her that he's never seen before. So yeah, people gonna be people regardless. And especially because people don't understand. People, haven't ran. Not everybody has ran track before. Not everybody understands the art of track. So people are just giving opinions without the knowledge of, oh, hey, wait, there's more to it than just showing up and performing at this high level.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because I guess you would think, because she didn't sit down that long, the average person thinking why is she just, what's going on? It was the weed. That's what people was thinking. It was the weed.
You know how many people. You know how many people smoke weed that just ain't got caught? Come on. I ran with some high level people, and trust me, that high level people, high and high. It's and even though in our minds it's not that long, but track, baby, you could take 2 weeks off and you come back and you wait a minute, what happened? What did I miss? What did I do? If you're not conditioning, and especially during competing season, if you're not consistently competing, and even I remember being in high school, my high school coach was big on trying to prepare us for college. So we would go to bigger races, even if, you know, as a matter of fact, he would try to put us in faster heats. That's what you call it, in faster heats, so that our body can get prepared to, like, you know, run against these top dogs, compared to if you're running to somebody that's on your level or somebody that you typically beat, then your body isn't and I'm not going to say it's not able, because people can do it. You know, we live in a world with different people, different body types and all that. But the average Joe, like, you need those repetitions, especially on that high level. Like, I need to run to the top dogs. I need to, on a consistent basis, I need to be running up against y'all all the time. So yeah, Shakari's going to do some amazing things, and I'm super excited. I think she just won. I think this is her first time back this year. So yeah, you know, she gonna show up. She gonna show up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that, because even with comedy, you know, I've been doing this 16 years, and I can go 2 weeks and then get on stage, and I might even feel, you know, off a little bit, because
Yeah.
I totally get that. The reps, you know, always keep you sharp. They
Absolutely.
do. They do. So how long have you been in Atlanta?
So I moved to Atlanta, I think 2017. So what was it, 2017? I would say, because it was like in and out. So I would say about 5 to 6 years
Mm,
is when I officially moved. But I used to come to Atlanta all the time. Like, my dad has been here for 10 plus years.
mm,
So we used to come visit, and he was really big on getting us immersed into Atlanta. So not just like coming to, oh, we're here. It's like, no, we're gonna ride the MARTA, we're gonna catch the bus,
yeah.
we're gonna, you know, go down to different neighborhoods. So I really got to, like, feel the vibe of different areas of Atlanta growing up. So by the time when I moved here, it was like, oh, this is home. This feels
Uh-huh.
like I'm right where I'm supposed to be. You know, it didn't feel like a foreign place for me.
Okay. See, I'm born and raised Detroit. You know, that's where I'm from.
Obviously. Okay.
But but I used to live in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for what, almost 2.5 years. I lived down there.
Did you like it or you didn't like
At the time, it was all right. I'm be honest with you. It was all right. It was
it?
okay. You know, I used to live right off of Cascade and 285 over in that
Okay.
area. I used to live over
Cascade
there.
and Decatur?
No, 285, the freeway.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, got you,
I
got you.
don't know if you know where that if you go down Cascade and you get to where it's like a Kroger and then the Walmart over there in that area. I
Yep.
live right in that that's the neighborhood that I lived in.
Got you. Okay.
That's where I lived majority of the time when I was there. I lived other places for short times. Like when I first moved there, I moved with my cousin who lived in Dallas, Georgia.
Okay. That sounds
Out,
far. Don't
it's
know where
like an
Dallas,
hour.
Georgia is.
It's an hour outside the city. So look, so she was telling, she was like, yeah, you should come move down here and live in Atlanta, this and this. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, bet. I get down there, and all I see horses and cows, and I'm looking like, hold on, this. I'm like, I
This
know
ain't
this is.
Atlanta.
I'm like, I know this the South, but I thought Atlanta was the city. So
That is funny.
he was like, no, I live about 40 minutes outside the city. No, this ain't Atlanta then.
That's
You
not, come on.
you're not in Atlanta. So I lived there for a couple months till I found the place, and that was the house that I moved to off Cascade, off Cascade. Then I lived a little bit in Vinings,
Okay.
right by the mall, and then I lived a little bit off of Thornton Road, right there, and I Thornton was a little bit over there, and then but Atlanta was an experience for me. Like Atlanta was the first time and the only time in my life that I literally was homeless.
Really?
Yeah, I was homeless in
Homeless,
Atlanta.
like living in the car, or homeless
Live,
like living on the
living in a
street?
shelter. I
Wow.
lived in a shelter off of Peachtree for it was like for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then after that, I was like, you know what? I gotta get my shit together. And I moved back to Detroit and did a whole 360 in my life and got some stuff back in order.
That's dope. I mean, wait, it's not dope that Atlanta was the only place that you're homeless, but it's dope that It's, you know, he would just be responding like, "That's dope." Like, wait, let me specify. It's not dope that you had that experience, but I think it's dope that you were able to recognize, you know what, like, let me get myself together and just possibly go somewhere else, and even if it is back home, because you know, some people like their pride to just be like, you know, I gotta stay here, I gotta make it, I gotta. And it's like, no, sometimes like not every place is for you. Not every place is where you'll thrive the most. So, you know, for Atlanta, some people, it's like, yeah, you know, I come and it's a glow up.
Yeah.
But sometimes you come to Atlanta, it's like, yeah,
But
this city.
what was so funny about Atlanta for me was it was my first time being around, how can I put it, any form of celebrities on like a
Mm,
any given basis.
yeah.
You know, I had went to God, I had like for example, I started doing acting classes when I was in Atlanta. And I went to what's her name? Uh Terry, the girl that
Terry
played,
Vaughn.
yeah, Terry Vaughn.
Hmm.
I went to her school, and that's where I went first. And so it was like weird because she was like, I was like, you know, I grew up watching you on TV. You know, it's
Yeah.
and then I'm going to then I'd be in the mall and just see people. And so them interactions were my first interactions of like, oh, okay, these people got to live just like we live, you know?
Come on now. Yep. Yep. They are
And
human beings just like we're human beings.
right. And so that experience and just the experience of being living that was living somewhere totally different of how I grew up
Hmm.
and meeting people that are still my friends to today. You know, so that whole experience I would never trade. I would never
For
trade that
sure.
experience. You know, do I don't never, but I don't miss having to sleep next to someone's smelling like they haven't took a shower in 6 months, trying to
And
sleep
probably haven't.
trying to sleep in a chair, you know, because they don't have no beds for you. We sleeping like this, you know, up in chair,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? So, but no, I don't miss none of that. But now that I live in Atlanta, I mean live in LA, I miss Atlanta.
Hmm. Oh,
I, I miss Atlanta. I would trade Atlanta right now for LA. I listen. I would
LA is
listen.
definitely a vibe, a
We
different
can
type of
trade
vibe.
apartments or how whatever you want. We could trade that right now.
I'm
And
good. I'm good. I like visiting LA. I enjoy the nice weather during the daytime because at night it's cold. I enjoy the scenery and like I'll come to LA for and there's some amazing people I've definitely met that are out in LA, but it's just not for me. I'm a I'm a southern girl. I like the South. LA, I don't know. LA is just it's different. It's
it
just
is.
different. It's different. And I haven't, like I said, I've never gone long enough to like, you know, experience it on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
But just from what I hear, like when it comes to like certain people and just, you know, the Hollywood being right there and people's heads get kind of big and you know, kudos to anybody that loves it. And I like I said, I think there's spaces for certain people. But no, you can keep LA. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I stay
See,
out here in Atlanta.
see one thing about LA is separated for me in the way that I look at LA is separated into two.
Okay.
You have your transplants that are here for work, entertainment, business, that type of LA. And then you have
Right.
your born and raised LA, which is totally different because that born and raised LA, they don't want nothing to do with the entertainment
Transplant.
business. They don't want nothing to do with that. So it's set so it's separate too. So you get a lot of people that I meet that are from here, and I'd be like, "Hey, you've been to such and such in Hollywood?" I don't go to Hollywood.
That
I'm
makes
going.
sense.
You know, going to Hollywood for them is a special event. Is
Right.
for us is everyday life,
Right.
and that's what one of the biggest differences when it comes to LA, how separated it is.
I feel like that makes sense. I feel like that may be true for most places because even when you meet somebody, which is rare, it seems like somebody that's actually born in Atlanta, you don't hear them saying like, "Oh yeah, I went to the Georgia Aquarium."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't go to the Georgia Aquarium, or just like those spots or those places that obviously people that are coming from other places, it excites them. But if you've been living here for forever, you're just like, that is not of my concern. That's the least
Mm-hmm.
of my concern. So that makes sense. Yeah, I still wouldn't trade it though.
Wow.
You can keep LA. I like to visit though. I like to visit, and I like getting booked in LA. But I just can't live in LA. And I would, and I'm not gonna say that I would never, because if the opportunity came and it made sense for business, I would temporarily live in LA.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I would like raise my family out in
Oh
LA.
no, definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too city for me. And like I said, I like the country.
Yeah.
I like the country.
So let me ask. So as being the moderator for Comedy Hype,
Yes.
how much patience do you have to have to deal with us comedians?
Honestly, I love y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I love comedians because I feel like in my experience of different people within this field and within art, like y'all are the closest to like, or y'all, I feel like that y'all have the most authentic art, because who you are on stage most times is who you are in person. Like y'all are just open and sharing all these things about yourself, and it's a beautiful art. I have had experiences where in that same mind frame, that same
Mm-hmm.
emotion can, dip into places where it's not necessarily necessary. For example, like if you're doing business, I think doing business with comedians, from my experience, is like most comedians like personal relationships. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I I want to know who you are on a personal basis. Like, cool, we can do business. But sometimes I've seen where if somebody has this very business oriented mindset where it's just like, no, it's just business, hit me up on email, most comedians kind of like fall back off that a little
Yes.
bit from my experience. Um, so I have noticed that, but honestly, like I love it. I absolutely love,
Yeah.
love, love comedians. There's not many comedians I can say I've met and been like, yeah, I don't really like you. I don't really rock with you.
I guess that's
Mm-mm.
more comedian. That's a more of a comedian personal thing.
Now I have learned like there's a lot of internal work that needs to be done. There's a lot of internal, and because I'm not a comedian, it's I like it, I get a different energy from comedians. But just from like backstories that I get, and just different things that we discuss on the show, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be some healing,
Mm-hmm.
some some oneness, some
It,
forgiveness, and togetherness.
yeah, because it go, man, it's so many different avenues when it comes to comedians because you get the jealousy aspect, you get
Mm.
the non-personal aspect, you get, the he say, she say aspect, the the material aspect of people thinking you're stealing from them type of aspect. It's so many different avenues of why comedians for some reason tend to not like each other when we're all in the same. It's like this: we're all on the same team, but we're all individuals.
Right. It's like track.
Yeah, it's like we're all here together, but we're all trying to go, run the race differently. And so, yeah, it's been some comedians over time that that I haven't cared for, and it's not too many. It's only maybe a handful that I might really just don't rock with. And
Right.
I give you an example for one. Of course, I'm not gonna say their name, but it's a female comedian that I don't rock with just off the way that she moves.
Mm.
She really she only really and I'm telling you like this. I might be totally wrong about this person, but from the interactions that I had with this person, this is all I can go by. And for
Mm.
me, the interactions I had with the person was she only really talks to you if she feels like she can benefit something from
Mm.
So I give you the example of I want to get I can just tell you exactly what happened, the reason why. I was like, oh, I don't have no energy for this person no more. We done this comedian, we done a couple shows together. We done sat and had group conversations together. One day we were at the comedy store and I walk up, she's having a conversation with another comedian I know. I come up, I say, hey, how y'all doing? Hey, congratulations on Just for Last. I seen that you was just on it. Oh, who are you? Why are you talking to me? Who you? Whoa, 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 whoa. Who? And then in that same instance, just turns her head, continues with the conversation, and act like I'm not even in the vicinity at no more. Oh, I said, you know what? Oh,
Absolutely.
I said, oh, I don't have no energy for you no more. Because
Correct.
because my energy could have been, oh, who the fuck is you talking to? But you know what? I said in that space, I said that's not gonna get me nowhere.
Yep.
So from that time on, I ain't got no energy for you. I
And
ain't got no deal.
that's what you have to do. And honestly, I feel like that's in multiple fields within, I think that's just entertainment as a whole. I think just, of course, different parts of the entertainment business, you have different issues because outside of moderating for the show, like I host a lot of events and I kind
Mm-hmm.
of noticed the same thing within that space too. Like you have some people that just, because of accomplishments and people probably always tell, bigging them up and making them feel bigger than life. And, like I mentioned earlier, some people just get that big head and they forget how to be humble or forget where they came from or forget like, hold up, like, cool, these accomplishments are great and I'm happy for you, but you're still human at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like you say, honest, like for me, I'm big on like once you like fool me once, but fool me twice. No, not. I'm good. So no, I would have did the same thing. Like, you know what? That's cute, but I'm gonna go ahead and go this other way because if I don't, it's gonna be trouble. And I don't. That's like you said, it's not gonna do anything for me. But yeah, I don't think it's just comedians. It's they because even in the music industry, that's another
Mm-hmm.
that I learned a lot about just from having friends that are heavy in the music industry. It's just I think it's just a people, and I don't even know if I want to call it a problem. I'll call it a people area of opportunity where it's just some people just lose sight, and it's unfortunate, but it's like to not expect people to be that way or to have these attitudes and like that would be setting an unrealistic expectation for ourselves anyway. So I'm always big on like I'm always going to give people the benefit of the doubt, but at this point the things that we've seen in life, you can't do anything to surprise
Right.
me. Like, oh, okay. It's just like, oh, okay, that's how you move. Okay, that's not a space for me. I wish you the best, but I'm gonna go ahead and go this other way. Because
Yeah.
people gonna people. And sometimes I
Well,
just I just be looking like I know God looking like, my people are so ghetto right now. They just it's about time for me to come home. And I just be like, Lord, just take me on the first round, please.
hey,
Take me on the first round. It's ghetto down here.
are you I know you got to be tired of reporting almost seems like almost every month almost or every other month you got to talk about a comedian's death. And I just want to shout out just taking this time right now, man. Shout out RIP to my man Teddy Ray, Jack Knight, uh, two good brothers, saying that I knew. But I know you got to be tired of it.
It is, yeah, it weighs on me a lot more. I think the heaviest one for me recently was definitely Teddy Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Teddy Ray and his family. We had Teddy Ray had been on the show before, and I met him in studio in person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure, as you know, like Teddy's, like I get chills just thinking about him. Like his personality, his energy, it's just all love and you could feel it. Like there was no ego. There was, it's like I don't care where I've been, kind of like that, like I said, like being able to remain humble and remember where you came from. Like he was just the most loving person. And literally the day that we filmed that show, my anxiety was like the worst. Like before the show, I'm like shaking, trying to like, get ready. And then man, Slink was on, and like we had to stop recording a couple times because I just couldn't gather myself to, read the intro, because the intro had the details of how he was found. And every time I got to that part, like I would just break down in tears. And I was just like, Slink, I'm so sorry. Like, I just need to go take a moment. So I took like 5 minutes, went to the back, literally was bawling, like one of them ugly cries too. Not even, and that's the thing with me. Like, some people can do reports and like they just have like tears falling and they're talking. Yeah, no, that's not how it works for me. When I cry, I get this frog in my throat. The tears, I get this ugly, like it's just one of them ugly cries. And Teddy, oh man. And then Jack Knight, hearing how he passed. Yeah, it's definitely I really hope and pray that these bring light to like, hey, check on your friends, check on your fellow comedians, check on, just check on people. And I hope the people that are going through it too, like I hope this is a wake up call to like, let me seek help. Like it's okay to get help. We weren't put on this earth to do life alone. And yeah, man, it's
even our rest in peace to Fu Quan.
yeah.
But in all three of them scenarios of how they passed away with the drugs, the suicide, the health issue, all three of those situations are big things, just in life period, not just in comedy. It's just in life period that a lot of people, we need to take more serious, especially, when it comes to this mental health and your daily health. Being a comedian, especially when you're on the road so much, you have to be more conscious of, number one, what you're putting in your body, because we do get put in situations to where we are eating bad, but we have to be more, controlling, and more controlled of what we do put in our body. But also that mental health aspect, man, is huge. And I hate that it gets so put under the rug, like it's just something that you can just get over. But that mental health, man, is a big problem right now.
It's vital. And I think every which I haven't heard of what Teddy Ray's cause of death was. I just know he was found in a pool. So yeah, I don't know what his is yet.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree when it comes to health, especially mental health, because the physical aspect, like there are options. People know, like, hey, I know if I eat this or da da da. But when it comes to mental health, it's like our community has been so afraid to like go to therapy or talk to people, or sometimes, and it's not even just a fear thing, but we try to be strong. And go
Let
ahead.
me say this. Sorry to cut you off. I want to add this to what you're about to say. Is that I never thought that it was also a fear aspect. I thought the fear aspect was just put in because it was more a financial thing. We grew up in a time where we didn't have the financial means to barely live, day to day. I'm not adding anything extra financial that I can't afford. So instead of just saying we can't afford it, no, Black people, we're not doing that. That's stupid, and that's where I always felt like that's where that came from.
Yeah, I say fear just from my experience of like every time I do bring it up to somebody, they're always like, "Oh, I don't need no help. I ain't nothing wrong with my mind."
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a fear of how I'll look to people if I say that I'm in therapy, because sometimes we mix psychology with psychiatrists, or psychologists about with a psychiatrist,
Yeah.
and those are two very different things. It's not saying like, oh, you're something's wired, or you're
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And a lot of people, I'm not crazy. And it's like, no, well, first of all, who cares what people think? But it's not saying that you're crazy. First of all, the Black experience in America in itself, all of us need therapy. Like every single one of us need
Yes.
therapy. And it's not to say that you're crazy. It's just you've had experiences and your ancestors have had experiences that are affecting you. Let's talk through it with somebody to understand, like, okay, here's the thing, but what is the root of it? Okay, let me go back to that root and understand it and unwind it. And it gets ugly. Let me rip the band-aid. I'm in therapy. And I love my therapist. She be in my business, but I love my therapist. And every single time it's always like, okay, cool, this is the issue, or this is what you notice that you do that you may not like or you want to change, but what's the root of that? And I think there's so many complexities when it comes to therapy in our community, but also in that same breath, I think we're doing a better job of having these conversations, of saying like, hey, therapy is great. Like, I love therapy. I go to therapy. I love when I see Black men talk about therapy. Like, that just melts my heart. I'd be like, come on, y'all better go ahead, brother. Y'all better talk about it. Y'all better talk about it. And women as well. But for men, like, I have a soft spot for men, because not often are y'all given safe spaces to be open about your emotions, or to talk about things that you're experiencing, or to talk about, just those intimate conversations. Y'all don't have a lot of those safe spaces. So I'm big on, like, anytime I see a man, being open or anything, I'm like, you know what, go ahead, brother. You bad with your bad self. Go ahead. You out here being strong and whatnot, changing the narrative. I see you. Let me figure you out. I see you. So yeah, man, I love, literally, like, I'm not an advocate for therapy just because it sounds good. Like, I go to therapy. I love my therapist. Like, I be telling her, like, girl, you all up in the mix, but okay, I got this other thing that I'm trying to figure out. And it's such a weight off your shoulder. Like, it's such a beautiful place to, like, understand. Because even now, when I do things, like, if I do an action that I'm not proud of, I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, that made me mad, but why did it make me mad? Like, what's the real root of why I'm acting like this? Girl, what's really, like, I be talking to myself. They say smart people talk to themselves, and now I understand why. Girl, what's going on? What's up? And then once I figure it out, it's like, oh, bet. Like, now I understand. Okay, now let me apply some things that I learned in therapy that I probably wouldn't have gotten if I didn't go to therapy.
Right.
So yeah, mental health is so big, and I pray, like, comedians, especially because y'all share some of the deepest, darkest things on stage. And the reason why I can never do comedy, like, to share those things and know that you're doing it to get laughs from people. It's like, yes, it's funny and it's amazing to be able to put it in a funny space.
Crazy.
No, y'all got a little bit of, now I will say, in the most respectful way, y'all got a little bit of crazy. You have to, though. You have to. In anything in entertainment, like, I feel like you have to have a little bit of crazy. And I feel like comedians, like, y'all got that plus some, in a beautiful way, though. It's the art is phenomenal. Like, what y'all do is phenomenal. I will never, ever, ever put down the art of comedy. But at the same time, y'all be opening up about some things. And it's like, that can be therapy for you, yes, but, like, are you really making sure you're taking care of those things and really making sure you're healed from those things? So when you get off stage and you go home, you can sit with yourself and be okay with those things that you discussed and just got laughed with, or I don't know how y'all receive it, but
right.
I pray more people open up to, and there's so many resources for therapy now. I know you mentioned, like, the financial piece. There's so many, like, free resources. I know Taraji P. Henson just did free therapy for Black men. So there are just so many places and people that are willing to, hey, let me at least give you some type of experience, right, so that you can at least try it and then, keep
see it, and be able to go on for yourself. Because I mean, when I first came to LA, I went to therapy. I seen a therapist when I first came to LA. And it was so funny, because after a couple sessions, I would go in there like, she's not gonna make me cry. She's not gonna make me cry today. No, she's not gonna make me cry. And as soon as I'm leaving, I'll see you next week.
Yes.
I'll see you next week. All right.
Man, that's beautiful, though. That's so beautiful. Like, I can't understand why we try to, like, stay away from crying. Like, crying is a release. Like, even, like, God gave us emotions for a reason, like to be mad, sad, like those are emotions that you're supposed to feel at one point. Don't stay in them, but you're human. Cry, oh my, like now my friends and I like, girl, I just need a good cry. I'm about to go home. Okay, how you at? I'm about to go home, watch some love movies, and I just need to cry. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I just need to cry. I'm tired. Like I just need that release. And I'm telling you, have you ever had a good cry and then you sleep? I've never. That is the best sleep to me. That ugly crying and I fall asleep on the. Oh my gosh, baby, what? I wake up renewed, refreshed. That is release. Yes, release that. We gotta cry. People gotta cry more. Man. I think if society, we have all these holidays, and sometimes some of these holidays that be on the calendar, I'll be like, what is that for? What are we doing? We need a national cry day. Just a day where everybody, you know what, go in the house, take a moment, and just cry. Oh my gosh, I think the world would be such a better place. Ooh, road rage wouldn't be a thing. Before you get on the road, just cry. Cry, sister. Cry, brother. And then get on the road. Ooh, I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna make a national cry day. Just a release.
So I know at one time you wanted to be a lawyer.
Come on, research.
You dabbled in photography.
Come on, research.
So and now you're a moderator, TV personality, host. So what's next? You gonna be a school teacher? You gonna work for Apple? I don't know. You know what I mean?
You never know.
Just ask it,
You never know what the Lord has. But if you really think about it though, right? So when I was a kid, I said I wanted to be a lawyer, which I don't even know what encouraged me to want to be a lawyer. But once I learned like how much I may have to lie, I was like, yeah, that doesn't quite fit well for me. Like, because if I get a client that I got a lot for, yeah, I'm probably not gonna have a lot of clients. I can't do it. But if you think about it, though, all those things would have been preparing me for where I am. Because when you're a lawyer, it's a performance. Mm-hmm. Like when you're in there, you have to make people feel things. You have to pull emotions out of people, regardless of what state they're in. You have a room full of people that are coming from different places and different areas in life, and their days started off completely different. And you have to get them all on one accord. See, come on now. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing.
That's why after watching Method Man in Power and watching Law and Order, I feel like I can go in there and do it. Like, yeah, Judge. See, on the night of June 22nd, man, he'll tell me, man, get your ass out of my courtroom.
Don't, sir, just go ahead. Your ride is outside.
Go out before I put you in contempt. Get out.
Outside. Go ahead. Get out. And yeah, and with photography, I mean, I still love, first of all, I couldn't be a photographer at this point in my life. However, I am able to identify very beautiful moments.
You couldn't even do it as a side thing?
No.
Oh, that means you got no love for it.
No, I just don't. It's like elevation. You gotta know where you fall, right? So it's like,
I know.
It's like when you ask me, would I race Sha'Carri? Like, no, why would I do that to myself? Race her for what? No. So the things that I'm seeing with photography now, it's like, I'm not there. So I'm good over here. I'm good where I am. I love where I am. I love moderating. I love hosting. I love acting. This is my scope. I feel fulfilled here. Photography, I'm gonna let y'all over here do that. But I know how to curate, some photographers for a business, because I can look at work and identify, like, you know what, I love how he did this, or I love how she did this. Oh, they probably, being able to do things like that. But to be a photographer.
So a couple of days ago, one of my friends, she posted on Instagram, she said that a lot of the younger people shouldn't be, looking at social media to become a social media influencer, because trying to become a social media influencer just means you're lazy. I totally disagree with that statement. I told her, I said, well, if if making, because I know friends that do, I said, if making six figures, making your own schedule, and not having no immediate boss is lazy, you can call me lazy all day. I take that.
Coach. Put me in coach.
and and so we ended the conversation with we agreed to disagree, but she's coming from, I feel like, the older school mentality where they not understanding that the workforce is changing. We're younger people are changing a lot of things when it comes to the old school way of doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have an issue with the social media influencers. If you have an opportunity to build a career off your phone, why not? Because and then my also thing is that I said you're looking at it at a small scale,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so many people that started with their phone and built huge careers.
Yep.
Courtney Wayne, just hilarious.
Yeah.
And numerous other people that I just can't think of right now, but it's tons of examples out there. Now, just like anything, just like sports, just like music, um, just like be even in the doctor field, not everybody's going to hold them top spots. But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the social media thing, it's kind of like anybody can get it, because you're in control of trying to build your audience. Long as you build your audience, you're fine. You don't need someone to say, okay, this person right here, I'm going to take this person right here and give them 600,000 followers. No, it's you building the content and then putting the work in to try to build your audience every day.
Yeah.
So I like I said, I totally disagree with her with calling it lazy. I just feel like it's a new way. It's a new way of doing things.
Yeah, and I actually understand both ends, because I think on her part, I think this age of like social media influencers, it has the possibility to build a lazy generation. And
Mm-hmm.
because some people just see it from, so let's think consumer, as if I'm 10 years old and I'm like, I want to be a social media influencer. From the outside, it just looks like, oh, all I have to do is post. But they don't see like these people are planning content. Like it's so much that goes into being an influencer that a
Yes.
lot of people from the front end, they don't know. So it's like, oh, I don't want to work. I don't want to do these things. I don't want to build, myself up or learn different things because I'm going to be a social media influencer. And it's like, it's fine if you want to be a social media influencer, but understand it's not just about, oh, let me take a picture and post it, or
Mm-hmm.
let me record a video and post it. But I also understand, and I agree mostly with your end of it, when we look at the totality of what a true influencer is and what a true influencer does, it's a lot of work. Even like I'm nowhere near an influencer, but just trying to like keep up with posting in itself. Oh my gosh. What?
It's,
You mean I gotta come up with content every week? What? In addition to taking care of myself, in addition to adulting, which is not what I thought it was
mm-hmm.
gonna be. Like it's it's definitely not as easy as people make it look. It's not as easy as people make it seem. However, I think what you mentioned is the most important piece to it. If you are going to be a social media influencer, I think it's important that you invest your money into other things.
Yes.
I cannot remember this comedian's name, but he's the one with the blue hair.
Blue hair.
Quay, blame it on Quay. Yes, blame it on Quay.
Okay.
He does like the skits with like he dressed up like a girl with like blue hair or whatever. But anyway, he started building restaurants like crab something. I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm thinking of it
Okay.
off the top of my head. But he started building businesses from his social media influencer profile. Like
Mm-hmm.
actually, let me get real estate. Let me do things that I know, because social media may not be forever. Internet may not be forever. If the internet goes down, how can I prepare for that? So I think It's a twofold. I understand what she's saying, but I don't think to make it a blanket statement to say like, oh, if you're a social media influencer, you're lazy. Like, no, it has the possibility to build up a lazy generation, but people who are actually doing it and actually doing the work, like you said, behind the scenes and actually taking those, the money that they're getting and applying it in other places, which you should do anyway. You should always have multiple streams of income. It's not lazy at all. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even. Like if you're really doing it,
listen,
baby, I can't keep up.
Listen, I gotta post. I gotta create something today before I leave the house and post it. Listen, I'm at the basic level. Right. I'm at the basic level of doing it, and it tires me out already.
Every week. Because baby, take a week off if you want to. Take a week off if you want to. You're gonna come back and be like, well, where'd my engagement go? And I'm big on like, I love, having an audience online, but I like converting that into like a real community. Because there are things that I know that I'm currently working on behind the scenes that I probably can't push to the front right now, but I'm gonna need that community to come together because I want to pour into people. But if I had, and just doing that little minute, baby, I feel like it's Friday again. Today I have to post. And I'm over here like, I don't have any more. I'm out. I posted twice this week. I'm out. I'm burnt out.
But we're about to get out of here. But I gotta ask you this before I go. So having the extra exposure to yourself now in your life, you're a celebrity now. How do you deal with the extra attention you get in your DMs? No, you don't even pay attention to it at all.
Yeah, I ignore a lot in my DMs, and I used to be the person that, because naturally I'm just a nice person. I genuinely love people. Like I love people. And like I said, I know in my mind that there are other parts to people that are not so loving. But as a whole, like I love people. I give people the benefit of the doubt. So I used to be the person like, if you hit me up like, hey, I really love your work, da 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 da. I'm the type of person to respond like, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, because I do. Like, I don't take this lightly. I don't even consider myself a celebrity, but that's just me making sure that I remain humble, remember where I'm from. It wasn't until about a couple times where I respond back to people and I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And then I get a video of, how can I say this in the most PG way? A man releasing himself. In the video. And the first time it happened, and I know we gotta go, but I gotta tell this quick. So the first time it happened, I think I ignored one guy and just like blocked him. The second time it happened, it was a picture. And so I sent it to my friends and I was like, hey, any of y'all want this? Cause like obviously I don't. So my friends at the time were like, you know what? You should send him a picture back. I think I got one. Don't judge my friends. Don't judge my friends. I love my people. One of my friends was like, yeah, I think I got a picture you can send him in the stash. So I was like, okay, cool, bet, because at this point I'm hyped up. He disrespectful anyway. How dare he come in here like I didn't ask for this? And I don't even get that type of energy. Like, sir, what are you doing? So I sent one back. I sent another man's. I have no idea who that man was. As Kiki would say, I have no idea who that man is. I sent another man's, situation, and I was like, next time you think about sending a picture like this, you should consider who you're sending it to or something like that. And I blocked them on Instagram. This man found me on Facebook and wrote me and said, yeah, I wasn't really trying to disrespect you. I was just trying to put my blank deep up in you. And I was like, you know what? At this point, I'm not responding to no more DMs. That's it. I'm done. And because I would have been I thought he was gonna be like, he was gonna feel real disrespected, like just Man, and I'm never like an eye for an eye, but that day I was just like, I gotta give you something back, sir, because you obviously need to be taught a lesson. It didn't teach him a thing. It didn't teach him a thing. And at this point, I don't. Sometimes I will like, and even now it's like to a point where I'll respond to some people, but then like that person wants to send me like 50 videos and like constantly like just sending me stuff, and it's just like I didn't reply for this. I don't like having notifications. I don't like having that number at the top of my message. Can you not send me all these videos? Please just stop. Please, y'all. Please, if you out there and you hear me and that's you, please stop. Just stop. I be trying to be so nice, but just stop. Yeah. So yeah, I don't pay attention to it because it's, most times too, like I love and appreciate people that show me love, and most times like if people like write me in my comments or something, like I'll try to reply or at least like heart the message. But most, I just don't want to fall into the hype of the internet. Like the internet is not real. Now, if these people start showing up at my events, hey, you can get all the replies that you want. But if it's just the internet thing, it's just like, I appreciate it, but not everything needs to be replied to.
So you got comedy hype. You have the Black Friday report. What else do you have coming up?
Really quick about Black Friday report. Make sure y'all stay tuned. My brother Killer Mike and I are producing that. Right now we are in a very, very, very exciting space. I'm super excited for what's to come from it. It's something that's for us, truly by us. I am busting my butt behind these scenes to get it to you all on a mass level. So stay tuned for that, because Black Friday report it's moving, y'all. It's moving. So thank you to everybody that believed in me on that. So I'm super excited for that.
Well, just know I did subscribe to the Instagram page, so I'm one of your followers on there.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and I definitely am going to do something for people who have, because I haven't been posting on that page as much, just because of we're in the pitching stage and a lot of things are going on. So I want to wait to make sure the branding is aligned with the things that are happening. So thank you so much. I will be gifting you all with something very, very special. But yeah, so outside of that, I do have Wadi Eye Productions, which every time I say that, people are like, come on, say what? You got what production? It's my production. It's Wadi Eye. So a while back, I was in a season of just pouring into my friends and telling them, you deserve it. The acronym for you deserve it is YDI.
Yeah.
And then this is how my brain works. Don't judge me, because my daddy already did. But when I say the acronym, it sounds like a word. It sounded like a word to me. So YDI, like YDI, YDI. And so I was, wow, that sounds like a word. Like, let me tie in a few things. Two things I wanted to add is that it's be connected to God and be connected to Africa. So it's spelled YDIYAH from Yahweh. And then above the I and above the A, or actually the I and the A are from the Sudanese alphabet. So that way the word is Wadiya, which is connected to God and connected back home to Africa. So Wadiya Productions is producing a lot of things going on that I just can't talk about.
That's cool. Well, that's a good thing.
It's super, super exciting. Yes. Oh yeah. I'm blessed. I tell people all the time, like, I'm grateful through the ups and the downs. And when I'm in the downs, that's when I try to tell myself to be even more grateful, because I know that I'm going through this to learn something, or like it's something in this pit that's supposed to prepare me for something else. So I'm making sure while I'm down there, I'm in the trenches, I'm in the moment. I'm not trying to force myself out of it, just allowing myself to go through it and not try to, jump up out of it or find a way to make it end. It's like, yeah, this sucks, but God, what are you teaching me? So I've learned a lot in those pits that are preparing me for the big part. So I'm super, 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 super excited. Some amazing things going on though.
All right. So now that we're cool now, I'm gonna be looking. I'm like, okay, now I can get the follow. The follow back.
I don't follow you.
No, you don't follow me.
Stop right here. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone right now. That's not like me. Most times, anytime that I hold on, let me see. Brandon Jordan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Watch this. Y'all see that? Hold on.
Yep.
Oh, wait,
Everybody
hold
see
on,
this
hold on,
now.
wait, hold on. Boom.
Man.
And I'm gonna make sure. Okay, you know what? I ain't gonna talk about this first picture that I see
Oh
you.
no. Actually, no, that video is actually press it right now while we on.
I'm looking at it. Oh, not you sliding out the crack. I love it. Makes sense. I love it. It's my birthday.
There we go. See, marketing.
Come, because look, okay, it's cool. I know what you want. Let me give you what you want for a little bit to really tell you what I need you to pay attention to. Smart man.
There we go.
Smart man. Let me go double tap that.
Yeah.
And no, I would definitely I know we have a studio, Comedy Hype has a studio out in LA. So I definitely love to connect. And I mean that. And I'm saying that here. You can let this go live. I definitely want us to connect because I am big on relationships, especially with good, genuine people. I appreciate you, and I want to tell everybody watching, I appreciate you so much for your patience. I know getting up to this point for us to sit down and talk was quite the challenge, but
it's worth
not
the wait.
we've definitely had experiences where situations happen and life happens, right? We're all humans, things go on, but I appreciate you so much. So I definitely want to stay connected, and yeah, let's see what we can do together.
Well, thank you. And now when I come to Atlanta and when I hit up the Waffle House, I'm like, when it's time to pay, I'm like, no, I know Sympathy. Y'all not. I could eat for free. What you mean?
You got to go to the black owned businesses for that.
I go wherever. You know what I'm saying?
We go local green. Go to local green.
Local green and just throw your name up there. Hey, come on now.
I'll make sure. I'll tell Zach. Zach, Brandon's coming. I'll send it. Take care of him. There you go. Got to be black on though. Got to be black on.
That's fine. We would do that. We would do that. All right. Well, that's give your Instagram.
Yes, you can follow me on all social medias at SymphonyThompson. That's Symphony SYMPHONY Thompson THOMPSON. Symphony does not have any crazy letters, any extra E's, no C's. It's just like the orchestra. Symphony Thompson. Y'all follow me. Keep up, and I love y'all so much. Thank you.
All right, and y'all remember it's Brandon Jordan Comedy, and that's another episode, and I will holler at y'all later.